forever young.
Good evening and welcome to Simply Young's business meeting tonight, business building meeting. I'm Katie Wyman Norris, your host tonight. We've got our business coach Linda is on vacation, well earned, no doubt. Tonight's topic is time management, how to master it for success. Now, this is such a big topic because, well, it can make, oopsie, there we go. Let's stop. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's go to the next one. It can make, I don't know why that's on. Sorry, guys. It can make or break your business. And there's one thing that I really want to share with you that, we talk about the time management lie, because I want to ask you a question. Who out there thinks that time is money? We were all told that, right? Well, of course, almost everyone would say yes, because that is what we've been taught, no doubt. Now, this point has stuck with me for so long, because the truth is time is not money. Time is actually more valuable than money, because you can always make more money, but you can't make more time, because there are over 24 hours, there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. You've got 168 hours in this week that we can do something with, right? So we really can't manage our time because time is relentless, So, which is kind of hard to understand in a way, but John Maxwell says, how you spend your time is more important than how you spend your money. Money mistakes can be corrected, but once time has passed, it's gone forever. How many of you out there feel like time is just flying and it's like just slipping through your fingers, I used to really feel that way, but I feel really present in my life right now. I was probably the worst time manager. I just had no time management skills at all. But it is an art, and you can learn it. And so that's what we're here for tonight. But the most important thing is what we want to get from tonight is that we get to take responsibility for our time. And so what needs to happen is that there needs to be a change. Because we always said, well, I don't have time for this or that or whatever. But the truth is what you have to change is to a new way of thinking, is just to admit that you are not really taking responsibility for your time, is that I chose to spend my time on this or that. And then you realize that there are time traps, things that are keeping you truly from, that you're just kind of giving into, you're just going along with the flow, because basically your life is ruling you instead of you really taking control of your life. And in the book Time Traps by Todd Duncan, he talks about even like what they call the organization trap, which is he says the majority of disorganization is spending time in meaningless tasks. They say about 80% of the workers in the work field spend most of their time looking busy rather than actually being productive. And who wants that kind of person on your team, right? Really. It's like you got to hold people responsible for their time and what they're creating. And there are certain tools that will really make a difference for you. And so we don't want to sap our time from ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and go on into that. And there are 10 things that I think are really important that people need to understand that highly productive people don't do. Now, if you know somebody who's very successful, who's really got their life together, you're going to really appreciate this next section here. There's 10 things. The first thing is they aren't email warriors. Going back for a second, though, the one thing I wanted to share with you is that highly productive people know the art of getting things done. They give them if you give them any deadline, they'll get it completed before you even ask about it. Does anybody know anybody out there like that? They're rare. These people are really rare, but you can become one of those people. And to become a highly productive person means that you probably have less stress in your life. You have more things coming to you rather than you chasing your fortune. And these are some of the tools here, the things that they do to create that kind of abundance in their life and that kind of a life condition. And so to increase our productivity, we need to get more out of our days. So the first thing that they don't do is they aren't email warriors. Now, I want to let you know that one of the most important things in our business is actually being able to follow up with people, and an email might be one of them. But you're not like a warrior to it. You know what I'm saying? You're not beholden to it. That you master it rather than it mastering you. These type of people recognize that email is simply a correspondence tool, and they spend minimal time managing their inbox so that they can get to the more important work. The truth is that unless you're in customer service, which we truly are, so you have to understand that you will be using your email. And customer service is very important. You want to, I mean, I spent today sending out thank you letters to people, thank you cards on Jackie Lawson, which is so great. So they spend minimal time managing their inbox so that they can get to the more important work. The truth, and then there's also a little reason. There's little reason to spend too much time in email because you're usually really measuring your success in like number of sales closed for a salesperson. And because we are salespeople, even though we just share this business, we need to be able to have measurable evidence of our efforts, right? So you need to know that spending the entire day on your email is not going to be the most beneficial for you unless you have. I can tell you one thing though: if you're out there marketing on like Facebook and Twitter and things like that, it's very important for you to create a profile in there, and maybe you're one that, like, we have wonderful people in this company that are sharing their results on email on Facebook, and that's another art. So we're not really talking about that. So keep that in mind. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. So actually, the second thing is they don't procrastinate. Do you procrastinate? I used to. I absolutely don't now. Highly productive people don't wait till the last minute before they get things done. Rather, they evaluate their dues daily. And if you don't have a list of what you need to be doing every day, then you're just probably getting floating with what's going on in and around you, and everybody else is kind of controlling you. You need to identify your upcoming deadlines and clear them quickly. Such that, we have a list in our office. Everybody has a little clipboard. They've got a list, and they're checking off things all the time. And it's really exciting when you see that you've got this amazing work in progress list, and you're able to the finish date. You're constantly checking it off. Boom, 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 boom. And so you've got a real plan for your day, your week, your month. Even for the next hour or whatever. What you're doing. These are highly productive people have these type of habits. Doing things at the last minute only gives people stress. It causes late nights and disrupts your schedule the next day. So you know better than to do that. And when you really learn that, to not procrastinate and get things done, I've got such a good schedule now on working with my bloggers and and everybody knows what's expected of them. They know they got their presentation of what we're going to be doing. I mean, they know what they need to be doing with me, and I know what they need to be doing and stuff. So we just have a great schedule, and it's a great flow, or a great rhythm that we have. The third thing is they don't check Facebook, Twitter 20 times a day. Well, the thing is you've got to use these things in order. Oftentimes I see some of the most productive people doing really well on Facebook, Twitter, and all these little things. We're getting a lot of great, like on what's that one little, there's that have all the pictures and all that kind of stuff. We're getting great people on there talking about Simply Young on there, and it's great. And so we have people that are working with that on a daily basis, and really sharing the benefits of Simply Young. So unless you use your social media for your work and business, which we do, chances are you don't need to check your Facebook and Twitter multiple times a day. Chances are, actually, the thing is if you have a habit of you may be checking it 3 times, and now with our phones, we can really have great results by just checking periodically because it's right at our fingertips, right? But we don't want it to truly rule us. The fourth thing is these highly productive people, they don't complain, or at least they don't for too long. While complaining can be actually a temporary stress reliever, highly productive people know that complaining doesn't accomplish anything. They focus on identifying solutions and being in the solution and working on their problems over complaining. Does that make sense? Okay, they focus on basically on the solution. The next time you feel like complaining, use the 15 to 30 minutes to work on your problems instead. Every little step you take, even if it's little bit, will go a long way. Okay, so give that yourself that space of 15 to 30 minutes of trying to find the solution. Being in the solution is very, very powerful tool. So rather than complaining, being in the solution is awesome. The fifth thing is they don't do things based on urgency only. Highly productive people don't do things they do things that are based on importance. They know that the urgent tasks are distractions from the real big rocks. And it's by focusing on the other important tasks they usually never become urgent that they will make the real impact. And when you get that kind of rhythm, it's really great. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really have great planning. It's like you have vision. You see things as they have already happening, and that's why things karmically are happening for you. And the truth is, the problem with most of us is that we don't prioritize our do's and don'ts. We do whatever comes to mind or whatever comes on top of our to-do list, which this usually means doing the urgent stuff first, which is not necessarily the important stuff. And there's a book called Rules of Super Productive People. It's a great little book on how to best prioritize your do's and don'ts. But one of the things that I've learned is that do the easy things first that don't take very long. Get those things done because it gives you momentum to go ahead and continue and get the other things done that are a little more complicated and stuff. And I actually go through this with my people because the bottom line is that even the people that work with me, my colleagues here, they have challenges on prioritizing also. Okay, so number 6 is they don't do things without a deadline. Setting timelines, including deadlines, is actually the rule number 2 of the 10 rules of super productive people. Which is a great little book. Highly productive people know that doing things without a deadline is the surefire formula for procrastination and overly drawn out projects. Without a deadline, they'll either take double the time they need to accomplish the project or never complete it. Hence, they always set clear due dates for their goals and tasks. And this includes setting mini milestones to achieve along the way. I was really a procrastinator because I'm doing so much in my business and everything. And I was thinking I really wasn't a procrastinator, but my studies weren't getting done as far as for my doctorate. And whereas I could have set up little time every single day to do even 5 of my, something, spend half hour or something on my studies, it would have kept me in line, you know what I'm saying? And I could have created that. And so now I actually am doing that, and I'm really almost done now, and I'm really seeing the impact that it's making. And truthfully, maybe this was my best time to actually do that because things have truly opened up for me and the stress level's gone down, and it's just and having that wisdom to know when it's the right time too is really great, because sometimes when people come into the business, they're just really don't have time for the business, but they have time to help themselves. And then as their health gets better, all of a sudden it opens up this amazing window for them to actually really see the opportunities and the benefits of sharing the business. So, number 7, they don't try to do everything themselves. Hey, delegation. Highly productive people know that they can't accomplish everything themselves. So they don't try to do that. They leverage on the help of other people, be it colleagues, managers, agencies, and outsourced contractors to support them in their work. After all, no man is an island, right? Number 8, they don't waste any time. Highly productive people never allow time to go by wasted. I feel that almost all the time. I really, and it's not like I don't give myself time to relax and enjoy. That's also scheduled. I allow myself to do that. Every little time pocket, even if it's just 5 minutes, is important to them. They use stray minutes in their schedule to get something done. And they know that these few minutes, when added together, can bring a huge impact to their productivity. Are you getting the feel of this? This is so exciting. Number 8, they don't just work hard. They work smart too. Who out there works smart? There's just, this working hard thing is okay, but when you work smart, the work is not as hard. And as a matter of fact, sometimes it's even easier, and most of the time it is. Highly productive people know that just as it is important to work hard, it is even more important to work smart. So if they find ways to do things easier with less effort, and if possible, without involving them, automating. I do that at my business all the time. You got to automate things, rely on systems, delegation, outsourcing, and hiring employees are different strategies they use to offload work so that they can get to the more important stuff. Because, that's the bigger picture. For me, I just love creating products, and I want to be doing that. But I know that, we want to be able to give people the training that they need. And so I bring in great people who can train, right? Because maybe that's not my best thing that I can do. Actually, I probably can do it pretty well, just like you probably could do it really well. But it's, you got to do what you love too. As you grow in your business, many people, they go and get someone to help them to do signing people up and really expanding their businesses and doing the follow-up work and things like that. Shipping out stuff, making sure that the orders get shipped out. You're not shipping them out, but the company is, and making sure how they finding out how they liked it, anything, if they have any questions, that kind of thing. So outsource, definitely. This 10th thing is for highly productive people is they don't work endlessly without rest, and they fill their cup every single day, first thing in the morning. Highly productive people work endlessly without rest don't work endlessly without rest because they know that it's a surefire way to become burned out. We don't want to do that. Do not burn yourself out on this business. You should be joyously working your business every day. I was just working with such a lovely, one of our really great producers, Diana, today. And she's so excited. She loves every minute of it. And she's highly scheduled, highly functioning. She's an amazing trainer and Pilates instructor. And she works with some of the top like opera singer, one of the top opera singers in the world, who sings with Andre Bocelli and everything. And she's got her doing the cleanse and doing all this stuff. And she has some of the top models in the world. She's got such amazing clientele, and she is just having amazing results. And she attracts that. She just attracts that because she loves what she does. She loves being able to share that. But every day she says that she fills her cup daily. She's on such a great regimen. She gets up early so that she can get what she needs, so that she can give the overflow of this. And when she needs to rest, she takes time to rest. She schedules rest in. So you want to pace yourself and ensure that you get adequate rest every day. Anyways, so then the next thing that you want to be able to do, these are the things that you need to just ingrain into your life so that you can have 20 quick tips for better time management. If you can master these, you're going to master your business, and you're going to have you're going to have an overflow of abundance. I know that because I see it in my own life. First of all, you need to create a daily plan. And remember, your daily plan is coming from your 5-year plan, your 3-year plan, your 1-year plan, your month plan, your week plan. Your daily plan is now evolving because of that, because you can break down where you want to be in 5 years. Okay. And in order to really build your business, it might take a few years for you to really build it, to get it on autopilot so that you can have amazing amount of what I call just this amazing time, free time with your family, and being able to create amazing memories, create just an amazing life for yourself. Who's up for that, right? I know you can do it in this business. I know we are so poised for that, and we're in it. We are right in it right now. This momentum is happening. It's very exciting. Second thing, peg a time limit to each task. Now, this is really important. Be clear that you need to finish X task by 10 a.m. and Y task by 3 a.m. and Z task by 5:30 p.m. You've got to keep yourself, you got to regiment yourself. You just have to stay on target. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with my people in my office so that we can be so effective and so efficient, so that we can do our best for each and every one of you people. This will prevent your work from dragging on and eating into your time reserved for other activities. You shouldn't have to, if you want to be out of work by 5 o'clock, or you want to be able to have a certain schedule and so that you have other things, you can do other things in your life, do it. You don't want to be beholden to your work. Although my work is so pleasant and I love it, I could do it day and night and stuff, yet I don't. I really schedule time for fun time and family time and love time and all that kind of stuff. Number 3, use a calendar. Having a calendar, whether it's on your phone, which I do, which works really great for me, it's the most fundamental step to managing your daily activities. If you use like Outlook or Lotus Notes, calendar come as part of your mailing, where even Google Calendar is great, I actually use that. It's even better if you can sync it to your mobile phone and other hardware that you use. And it's on my computer, like when I'm at my office, and then it's on my phone. It's all synced in so that I have amazing ability to know what's going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? That way you can access your schedule no matter where you're at, okay? So use your calendar. Use an organizer. The organizer helps you to be on top of everything in your life. It's your central tool to organize information, like your to-do lists, your projects, and other miscellaneous items. Got it? Very important. Number 5, know your deadlines. When do you need to finish your task? Mark the deadlines out clearly in your calendar and organizer so you know when you need to finish them. Because stress comes from being not really knowing what's ahead of you. And if you have a clear vision of what's happening and where you're going to be at in 2 or 3 days or whatever, because I'm always thinking the year ahead, the month ahead, 4 months ahead, 6 months ahead, into the new year. I've 3 or 4 months before that, creating, all these deadlines, what needs to be happening then, as well as my daily deadlines. So, it's very important to know the direction you're going. It's your compass, right? Learn to say no. This was a big one for me. I did everything. I was actually kind of the enabler, and I learned to stop doing that. Don't take on more than you can handle. For the distractions that come in when you're doing other things, give a firm no or defer it to a later period. Learn to say, listen, I can't do it right now, but I can do it, in an hour or tomorrow or whatever. And because people have more respect for you too, because they know you're mastering your time. So, number 7, target to be early. How many people are California late? That's what they call it here in California. When you target to be on time, you'll either be on time or late. Isn't that crazy? Most of the times you'll be late. However, if you target to be early, you'll most likely be on time. For appointments, strive to be early. For your deadlines, submit them earlier than required. This is something that I love doing now. I actually love it. It used to cause me such angst before, but now I have such peace about me because I'm actually got such a great rhythm where I'm getting to things early in case something goes wrong, because you never know. You never know if you can't find a parking spot. You never know if something's going to happen on GoToMeeting and you're going to lose your the sound or the whatever, you know what I'm saying? So important to be able to be on time with that. Anyways, number 8, time box your activities. What this means is that restricting your work to X amount of time. Read more about, about these things, you can learn more about that kind of stuff, but the key is giving it just a certain amount of time and knowing, okay, I've got to move on to my next project. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. Maybe it's studying, like, I study for doing my studies. I plan that. Then I spend a certain amount of time on like MailChimp, making sure I get the good information out to my people, things like that. And then, different things like that. But having that kind of a schedule so that you can give it just that amount of time really puts you in such amazing control of your life, So it's great. Okay, number 9, have a clock visibly placed before you. So, sometimes we're so engrossed in our work that we lose track of time. I've been notorious for that. I'm getting so much better at that. Having a huge clock in front of you will keep you aware of the time at the moment. I had such dear friends that gave me my second clock that they've given me, and it's the most beautiful crystal clock. And I'm bringing it to my office as I'm getting rid of all my piles on my desk, and I'm putting this beautiful clock there. And I get to just think of them every day because they have the beautiful "Happy Birthday, Katie" on there, and love Sasan and Jen, and it's so beautiful. I get to think of them, and I get to keep track of my time. So have that clock visible. Number 10, set reminders 15 minutes before. I do it on my phone. Most calendars have a reminder function. If you have an important meeting to attend, set that alarm 15 minutes before. I actually do it about 45 minutes before, and the reason is because sometimes I get caught up in things, and I may have to travel someplace, and I need that extra time. You know what I'm saying? So know what you need. Number 11, focus. Are you multitasking so much that you're just not getting anything done? Focus is so crucial. One of my biggest mentors, Dr. Tony O'Donnell, he always talks about focus. So if you're having challenges getting things done, focus on just one key task at one time. Close off all the applications you aren't using. Close off the tabs in your browser that are taking away your attention. Focus solely on what you're doing. You'll be more efficient that way, and because sometimes you might be in an open area and there's a lot of things going on and it can really be distracting. Maybe you need to get into an area where you can have more private time and privacy so that you can focus better. Maybe you're not getting enough essential fatty acids because you're kind of ADHD, kind of you're distracted and you can't focus because of that. You want to have good essential fatty acids. A lot of our products actually have naturally the foods that are rich in fatty acids, like the goji berry, the acai, the maki berry. They're all really rich in essential fatty acids just naturally. So those will really help with your focus. Number 12, block out distractions. We were just talking about that. What's distracting you in your work? Do you need to go to different, little areas that's more private? Your instant messages that keep coming in, or the phone's ringing? Maybe that's your job. Maybe you have to take phone call after phone call after phone call. Maybe so that might just be your job. So it's not really your distraction. Text messages popping in, that can be very distracting. Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And before you know it, you're just laughing and, oh, look at this, look at this, look at that. And you didn't get anything done. If you really want to be successful in your business, you need to because when you start doing that, a lot of people know that they can take up your time and they can suck the energy from you, kind of the time vampires, Anyways, make sure if text messages are popping in, try to turn it off so you don't hear it. What about chat? Maybe you're doing chat all the time. Sometimes you can just designate a time for that, right? The only times when I log in on these things is when I'm not intending to do any work. Otherwise, it gets very distracting. Next thing is number 13 is track your time spent. Get an egg timer. It's so simple to get, so that you can count down. Your key. You key in the amount of time you want to do it, for example, 30 minutes or an hour, and it'll count it down. And when the time is up, move on to the next task. 14, don't fuss about unimportant details. You'll never get everything done in exactly the way you want. Trying to do so is being ineffective. Number 15, I really like this. Prioritize. Know how to prioritize. What I do is I do the little tasks that just I can get done really quickly, and maybe there's 10 of them. I get them done, boom, 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 and it's like this amazing momentum. And you're like, wow, I just got 10 things done. I only have 3 more to do for the rest of the day, right? So you feel like you've really accomplished a lot. So it's apply the 80-20 principle, which is a key principle in prioritizing. Since you can't do everything, you want to learn to prioritize everything and let go of the rest. Do the most important things first also. 16, we talked about this earlier, delegation. If there are things that can be done better by others or things that are not so important, consider delegating. This takes a load off and you can focus on the important tasks. Number 17, batch similar tasks together. For related work, batch them together. For example, my work can be categorized into these, into these core groups. Writing, because I write articles and my MailChimp and things like that, and things that I'm working on are formulating and things like that, and coaching or whatever. And then maybe you'd have another batch like workshop development, business development, it's administrative. I batch all the related tasks together so there's synergy. If I need to make calls, I allocate a time slot to make all my calls. It's really simple and it really streamlines the process. Number 18, eliminate your time wasters. That includes people. What takes your time away from your work? Facebook, Twitter, email checking. Stop checking them so often. One thing you can do is make it hard to check them. Remove them from your browser, quick links, bookmarks, and stuff them in a hard to access bookmark folders. Replace your browser bookmarks with important related sites. You'll really see that you'll start mastering your time, definitely. And the last one is cut off when you need to. The number one reason why things overrun is because you don't cut off when you have to. Don't be afraid to intercept in meetings and draw a line to cut off. Otherwise, there's never going to be an end, and you'll just eat into the time for later. So leave buffer time in between. Don't pack everything so closely together, and leave a 5-minute buffer time in between each task. This is going to really help you wrap up the previous task and start off on the next one. So those are actually, that was number 20. Sorry about that. So those are the 20 quick tips for better time management. If you master these, you're going to master your life and your time, and you're going to see that you're going to be way more productive. And on that note, I want to thank you all. If anybody has any questions, anybody there who has any questions? Alrighty, well, that's it then. Thank you guys so very much, and have an awesome, beautiful night, and share this with your team. And make sure you share your different. There's so many great things on your back office that have been downloaded. And this will be downloaded in about 4 or 5 days, and you should be able to have it and share it with your team. Okay. Thank you. Bless you. Take care.